I pledge allegiance to the
to
flag
the flag
of
of
the
the United
United States of
States
America
of
and
America
to the
and to
republic
the republic for which
for
it
which it
stands,
stands, one nation,
one
under
nation,
God,
under God,
indivisible, with
indivisible,
liberty
with
and
liberty and
justice
justice
for all.
for all.
Very good. Thank you very much for coming out on such short notice for a meeting like this. But I guess we have dire straits with our copier machine.
Okay.
It's kicking the bucket very rapidly.
Yeah.
So you want to give us a little insight? Well,
Yeah.
Yeah, the meeting's open. You can give us some insight on it.
Yeah, so really quickly, I guess the copier that we currently have was purchased around 2013, and it's been kind of reaching the end of its lifespan over the last probably 18 months. We do have a maintenance agreement, and the guys have come down and done their best to help us every time it starts to break. But over the last 6 months, it's steadily gotten to the point where it's almost counterproductive. We can't print. If we print double-sided at all, it just completely jams. If we print single-sided, it inevitably jams. I would say 10 times a shift is probably an understatement. And we use it a lot, and I think certainly we use it even more now with our Thames Pace programs that we need to print out exams and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
So I initially reached out to the town. I wasn't quite sure on how it all worked, about looking into a replacement, which they agreed we needed. They were looking to see, if we'd had it funded, and of course, it didn't even occur to me that I was going to fund it. But I looked at, they sent down the Xerox people to give us some estimates. The town has a contract, I guess, with this particular company for all of the copiers, and some people buy them, some people lease them. They gave us a quote for 2 options. One is our current model, but just the 2021 version, and one was the model up, the upgraded model, which they recommended based on our needs. And I got the quotes, and the leasing option is going to cost about $2,000 more for the 5 years. So I was kind of just thinking maybe we should just purchase it outright now because we have some funds available, and then going forward in the 5-year plan, we can look to potentially just budgeting in $150 to $200 a month for a copier lease going forward. But for now, it didn't really make sense. And then at the same time, I was deep diving into all of our special agency funds, because it turns out there were 2 special agency accounts that I hadn't had access to on Munis that I wasn't able to see. So I found these funds that were there, and the town is asking me to, obviously consolidate those funds, spend the funds or something. So there's 2 special agency accounts. One, I still, it looks like it's just education. I don't know how it's separate to our current. I'm having them look into that for me, but I was going to have them simply transfer that money over into our current EMT special agency account, because it appears that that's all the same type of spending from what I can tell. And I mean, these accounts haven't been touched in years. And then the other one, which has almost the exact amount of the copier, is I believe it was from the original Crump donation, where we had spent almost all of that, but there's around 4,000 with change sitting in that account. So, I'm more than happy to use that money to purchase this copier, and have something that meets our needs and is going to be viable for the next 5 years. We'd still pay, $15 or $20 a month on maintenance, so they could come up and, help us use it. And that's really my proposal was, if you guys are amenable to that, then Maria from finance has said that she would just need the minutes with, showing that you are amenable, and then she can transfer that money over into our account and we can order this. And I just tried to get this in before I left, because we're really not sure how long this copier is going to go before it just stops working. So that's what they told us the last time they were out here, which was a couple of weeks ago. They were like, at some point it's just going to stop and they're not going to be able to fix it. So I was just hoping to get the process started, because it's still a lengthy process of transferring funds and then putting in purchase orders. And
now, Lee, how many special agency funds do we have?
So as it turns out, I found 4. There were 4. I have, there's our current one that we use the most, the one that we run our EMT classes out of.
Yeah.
And I did that really deep dive into for you guys. Then there was a disaster trailer one, which I did know about. It had $27 left in it, and I had suggested to the town they simply close it. I have, the history is, I guess, we were given some federal or grant funds to purchase our disaster trailer. And so that money was used, and there's just literally $27 sitting in there. And there's nothing else that would come in. So my suggestion had been that they were going to close that out. And then there were these two other accounts. The one was the Crump Fund donation, which had this $4,000 just sitting there. And then I found this other one, and it's, I mean, I can pull it up. I think it's called EMT course or something, but different to our EMT course. It's got around $3,000 in it. It really looks like the last time it was used, I believe, is around 2010, and it looks like payments for teachers and bringing in instructors or specialty classes. So in my mind, that seems like pretty much what we use our current EMT class special agency for. You know, it's community events and classes. So ultimately, you know, the town wants to close that out, and I don't mind as long as the money gets transferred to EMS, because it appears to be EMS funding. But they are looking into it because I asked them a couple of follow-up questions, because sometimes it's hard to trace something from that long ago. You know, I don't want to spend money that isn't mine, or you know, specifically allotted for something. Couldn't find any more. But those were there.
Do we need to order supplies for this? Or do we have enough supplies on hand? Or do we need to add money for supplies?
And I believe the maintenance cost, I mean, we're already paying those $30 a month. And I think with this model, that cost actually might come down a little bit.
Okay.
That's what Kevin Bowman had intimated. So
Chief,
really
it's Phil. I have two questions. What's the amount we're talking about, first of all, for a suitable machine?
I have it right here. Well, I had it right here on my screen. There it is. Bear with me. 36.
36?
30. No, sorry, 30 seconds. I'm just pulling up the email that
okay. And my second question, when you say copier, it's kind of a generic term for one that also scans and does anything else you might need it to do?
Yes.
Silly question, but I just wanted to make sure that this was going to be the machine we needed.
It's the same machine that we have, which we use to scan. You know, we can scan documents ourselves, and it actually has a few extra features, like it, you know, you can make books and copy, hole punch, all that stuff. So
just making sure it will suit your needs. That's all.
Yeah, absolutely. So the purchase price is $4,550 for this one, which is the model up, or it was going to be, you know, $3,025. But I think we all agreed that it made sense to upgrade the model because of how much we use it for now.
Yes.
And we have almost that figure in the special agency. I think we're short like $185. And that certainly we can use from our regular, you know, supply budget in our current fiscal year, you know, to fill that. So it would just be transferring the amount from the special agency into wherever Maria puts it, so that we can spend it.
Okay.
So this will wipe out special agency?
This will wipe out that one special agency account.
But there's three others
Right.
we have floating.
Right.
Yeah. Well, and the one we use all the time.
Right.
And then the other two.
If I could just have a quick question, why was the lease option so much more? I'm just curious.
I don't know. And I did look into it. Initially, I thought maybe I'd misread it. So I had Maria follow up. They lease it for 5 years at $110 a month, and it brings it out to $6,600 or something. And then you still have to pay the maintenance, the monthly maintenance as well. Because I thought maybe that was just they had included the monthly maintenance in the lease. So then it became even more expensive when you add on another 5 years of $30 or even $15 a month. I don't know why. It didn't really make any sense to me. Most of the other times when we've looked at a lease option, it's been pretty much exactly the same. So then it made more sense. And to be honest, I mean, even going forward, a part of me just wants to set aside $150 a month for copying costs. That should be a line item in our regular budget, you know, rather than spending this money. But right now, I don't have anything budgeted, and we had this money sitting there. So
Good idea.
Gotcha.
Is this black and white or a color?
It is black and white. I think color becomes another big problem, and hasn't been a very well received with the town. So
Oh, so it doesn't produce color, you're saying?
No.
It's only a black and white machine.
I do have a color copier in my office that the Trumbull EMS Volunteer Association donated to us. And that's what we use right now for our color copies.
Can it scan?
What would be the difference if you wanted to go with the color to it?
I didn't
quite
get
expensive.
quotes, but it's significantly more.
Okay.
Okay.
I just thought since you're going high class, you might as well just get
Yeah.
everything you need all in one. And, you know, if it costs us an extra $1,000 and we get the color and everything else. I know we have a colored one at work and it's fabulous.
Mhm.
You know?
Yeah, no, it's fabulous. I think that the town is reluctant because then the ongoing costs for the printing ink and everything are also,
Mhm.
it's not just the runoff, it's buying all the toner and everything every month.
Right.
I know, because when I had asked originally, I'd asked to buy like a $400 color copier using our money that we had in that big account that we use for our program expenses. And they flat out wouldn't approve anything if it was color because of the ongoing issues.
Do they have a colored one up at Town Hall?
They do, and they welcome us to use it if we need it.
That's
Just
good.
let them hook you in through the network, that's all.
Yeah.
We know a guy.
Vicky can walk it over.
Did you have a question or a thought?
Oh,
Tom, I thought he had a thought or a question.
No, I think, well, we addressed the lease option, but I guess the only other thing is can it scan in color? Because I know that's kind of important these days.
That's a good question. Let me.
Bill says yes.
should.
Saying yes, I see a big yes
Yeah,
from Bill.
thanks. Yeah.
All right. Yeah, probably does.
Yeah, because I mean, I don't know how much, but I feel like that's the go-to these days, right? Scan and email.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it definitely looks like it's got more features than we currently have. And it's obviously, it's technology. So it's obviously come a long way one way or the other. Even the current model is probably better than our model now just because of how fast paced we've moved.
Mhm.
And Lee, since we own it, we don't pay any cost for the amount of copies, do we?
No, we pay like a maintenance thing. And then, there's a certain amount of copies. And if we go over that, there is a fee. But we're pretty good at not going over that, except when it, because we use double-sided printing. A lot of the time, it's only when it's like the last year where it hasn't been very cost effective because it keeps jamming. And so now everything's single-sided and it's still, we probably go through an extra 10 copies for every batch we try print of jammed papers. So, I mean, the last one was great. It worked well for, as long as it worked, and then it hit its lifespan, and I probably would certainly anticipate we maybe print more in the last 3-4 years than we used to with all the programs that we run.
Lee, if I can chime in on the printer, since I use it all the time.
Yes.
When I have to print more than maybe like 3 or 4 pages, you have to hit print and stand by the printer because it jams so often. By the time I get back to my desk to sit down, it's already jamming with another piece of paper. So it's just every 3 or 4 pages, it's jamming and having to be fixed, and you're throwing out 3 or 4 pages that get stuck in the printer and then having to start the printing process all over again.
Well, that's not worth it.
No, it's extremely frustrating, extremely time consuming. You want to print up, a 10-page document, it's a 5 to 10 minute process.
Well, we're going to end that for you.
Yeah, let's get a new printer.
That's right.
Right.
Absolutely.
All right. Does anybody want to make a motion?
Sure.
I'll
Go ahead.
up to 4,000 for.
Sorry, Tom, can I just interrupt? I
Yeah.
think I'm not sure if we need basically 2 motions. One would be a motion to approve
The transfer.
the transfer, or whether it's simply that you approve, the cost of the copier, including money from the special agency account. I don't know, Joel, you're legal lead.
I think we can put it all into the same motion.
Okay. So ultimately, the figure that we're looking at is $4,550 is the total that we need to spend on the copier.
That with taxes and everything?
That's, whatever that's what I'm assuming. They haven't given me anything else, and that's what Maria asked me to ask you guys for. So I'm sure if anything else, they would just.
Okay, I just want to cover it to make,
Yeah.
sure if there's taxes on there. I want to make sure we have the money on top of it to cover it.
Should
I
be
mean, if you
tax-
want to just round up to 5,000 and say up to 5,000, and then whatever the cost is, it
I
is.
think that's a good idea.
Okay,
Which would include transferring the money over from
Right.
that special agency fund.
Perfect.
that's the one that they're gonna finish up one and then
Right.
tap into another,
Yeah.
It's the old
which is
crumple.
fine. Okay, who's making the motion
Just so
here?
you know, it's the special agency capital outlay account.
Okay,
Capital outlay.
who's making the motion?
All right, so I make a motion that we authorize spending up to $5,000 for a new copier, including a necessary transfer from the special agency capital outlay account as needed by Maria.
Okay,
Transfer.
What did I miss?
I think
Yes,
that was it.
transfer.
We have to transfer from one account to the other.
actually, it's two accounts.
No, it's just the one account for this one.
Just
One
the one
account.
for now.
Oh, I
Yeah, the
thought,
balance can be,
I
Yeah.
thought
think
the
you did
balance
say
was
that.
5,000 in there. Okay. So the transfer's in there, the new copier's in there. We don't have to stipulate what kind, just the kind that you people have picked out and decided was the one we needed. Okay.
Yep.
Now, do we have any discussion on it? I know we discussed before, but is there any more discussion? Okay, let's take a vote. How many people are in favor of purchasing the new copier and transferring the monies from one account to the other? Say aye.
I-
Aye.
Okay, and anybody abstain or oppose? Okay, motion carries. You got your new copier.
Thank
Go
you guys.
Warrior.
Yay. I
I
think
go
Kate.
enjoy your vacation.
Kate is the most happy of all of us.
Yes, good for
I have
her.
no idea.
Now you can go away without worrying about every time you see a copy or thinking of that. So,
Thank you guys. I really appreciate you scrambling. I'm sorry that couldn't wait, but I just had this vision of us like literally having to run down to town hall every day to get all of our copies. For
Yes.
not a problem.
How soon can you get this, Lee?
And that is in the hands of Kevin Bova, but honestly, he got the guy down here for an estimate really fast, faster than it's ever happened before. So I'm hoping fairly promptly because it's like a pre-existing contract and it's not like the regular hoop jumping that we go through with extra quotes and that kind of stuff.
Great.
All right, well, if any of you guys run into a snag while you're away, have them call me.
I will, absolutely. I really appreciate it.
You know,
Okay.
we'll work it out.
Everything's going to go really smoothly. They do a phenomenal job. I've got a great team. I really am
Great.
incredibly proud, and I'm really very relaxed about knowing everything's under control. They got it.
Right.
So
Sounds good.
have a
Okay.
great
All right.
weekend, guys, and we'll see you at the end of the
You
month.
too.
Thanks
All
for
right.
everything.
Do we
All
have to
righty.
move to adjourn?
Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Good
Bye.
day.
And
Take care.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Thank you, Bill. Thank you, Kate.
Bye.
You bet.
everyone.
Stay
Have a
safe.
good
Take care, everybody. Be well.
And just, I think you need a motion to adjourn.
Make a motion to adjourn. Diane, you second it.
I
Matt
second
said
it.
aye before he left.
Got
Any-
it.
Anybody not in comment? Everybody's all set with that? Good.
Yep.
Motion passes.
All right.
Thanks,
lost a
Bill.
couple, but
Thanks,
that's
Take care.
everybody.
Enjoy your time off.